I wonder who among us would like to approach the wife or mother whose husband or son has died in South Vietnam and ask them if they think this is a peace that should be maintained indefinitely. Do they mean peace, or do they mean we just want to be left in peace? There can be no real peace while one American is dying someplace in the world for the rest of us. We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the founding fathers. Not too long ago, two friends of mine were talking to a Cuban refugee, a businessman who had escaped from Castro. And in the midst of his story, one of my friends turned to the other and said, "We don't know how lucky we are." And the Cuban stopped and said, "How lucky you are. I had some place to escape to." And in that sentence, he told us the entire story. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man.
Let's impose tariffs on foreign imports. It looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. What eventually occurs is, first, homegrown industries start relying on government protection in the form of high tariffs. They stop competing and stop making the innovative management and technological changes they need to succeed in world markets. And then, while all this is going on, something even worse occurs. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. The result is more and more tariffs, higher and higher trade barriers, and less competition. So soon, because of the prices made artificially high by tariffs that subsidize inefficiency and poor management, people stop buying. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. The memory of all this occurring back in the 30s made me determined when I came to Washington to spare the American people the protectionist legislation that destroys prosperity. Now, it hasn't always been easy. There are those in the Congress, just as there were back in the 30s, who want to go for the quick political advantage, who risk America's prosperity for the sake of a short-term appeal to some special interest group, who forget that more than 5 million American jobs are directly tied to the foreign export business, and additional millions are tied to imports.
In tyranny, whether in the Ukraine, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Cuba, or Vietnam, we send our love and support and tell them they are not alone. Our message must be: your struggle is our struggle, your dream is our dream, and someday you too will be free. As Pope John Paul told his beloved Poles, we are blessed by divine heritage. We are children of God, and we cannot be slaves. History shows that it is precisely when totalitarian regimes begin to decay from within, it is precisely when they feel the first real stirrings of domestic unrest, that they seek to reassure their own people of their vast and unchallengeable power through imperialistic expansion or foreign adventure. So the era ahead of us is one that will see grave challenges and be fraught with danger, yet is one that I firmly believe will end in the triumph of the civilized world and the supremacy of its beliefs in individual liberty, representative government, and the rule of law under God. That's why we must now summon all the nations of the world to a crusade for freedom and a global campaign for the rights of the individual. I look at you and I know I'm looking at people who have seen and suffered the full gamut of totalitarian terror. Some of you lost friends and loved ones in your struggles, and some of you risked your lives and all your earthly belongings, and you will bear scars for the rest of your life. You are men and women of courage, Heroes who have devoted a lifetime to struggle for God's greatest gift, for freedom. And for that, I can only say I'm honored to be here with you today, and I'll be proud to stand by you always. Today, the goals of our foreign policy are the same as they have been for the last 4 decades. We stand against totalitarianism, particularly imperialist, expansionist totalitarianism. We are for democracy and human rights, and we are for a worldwide prosperity that only free economies can give, and the pursuit of human happiness that only political freedom allows. Tyrants tyrannize because that's what they do for a living. But the ungodly force called tyranny still cannot rid the human soul of its freedom, no matter how hard it may try. Tyrants can deny the benefits, I should say, of freedom to their peoples, can kill freedom by killing free people. But freedom itself they cannot have. For one thing, people like you won't allow it, nor will that higher being allow it. Our greatest freedom, the freedom to choose right from wrong, cannot be willed away by the tyrants. For God has given all humankind the gift of knowing right from wrong and the responsibility to choose between them. This, my friends, is the essence of freedom, that we follow the biblical admonition, I have set before you life and death, therefore choose life. That tyranny is a parasite that saps the strength of a nation in its sway, that like those who lived under Macbeth's tyranny, the tyrannized millions will ever cry out. Our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. Tyranny fails. Freedom works. These facts, so little accepted only a decade ago, are now indisputable. To all those trapped in tyranny, wherever they may be, let us speak with one voice, not as Republicans or Democrats, but as Americans, saying, you are not alone. Your dreams are not in vain. Hold on to your dreams, because the tide of the future is a freedom tide, and totalitarianism cannot hold it back.
Christian man, been Christian, I guess my whole life, and Trump said he wants to help the Christians, and then he had me all scared about the Mexicans, saying they're rapists and whatnot, and drug dealers and all that, and he said, I'm going to help them, I'm going to end this on day one, and fix eggs on day one, and it just all sounded real pretty like, and then here we are, and Trump's destroying America. I mean, he's gotten rid of, now he said he wasn't going to touch Medicaid. Now he supports Medicaid being defunded. He supports Social Security, Medicare, all that shit being defunded, being tore down. Hell, if he gets rid of Medicaid, my mama's sick in a fucking nursing home. Excuse my language. But she's in a fucking nursing home. Excuse my language again. Me and my sister, who just got fired from the VA after working there for 14 fucking years because of that fucking Elon, we gonna have to fit the bill. We can't afford it. We ain't rich people. I live in a small town. We can't afford it, y'all. And the people that can't afford it, the fucking billionaires, he wants to give them welfare. And the poor people out here busting their ass every day, and the middle class people out here suffering. Can't afford a house, can't afford to feed their family, and he wants to raise our fucking taxes? I should have never voted for that devil. And Elon's a fucking Nazi. When he did that salute, I fucking knew it. And then when he supported Germany Nazi Party, and all that Nazi shit, propaganda, racist shit he spreads on X, he's a fucking Nazi. And I hope Tesla burns to the fucking ground along with Starlink and fucking X. And I shouldn't be talking like this as a Christian man. But fuck 'em, man. They're a bunch of fucking fascists. They're destroying our goddamn democracy. Excuse me. Destroying our Constitution, going against the courts, going against the laws. And the only people they care about is themselves. They ain't never cared about Christianity. I don't think they care about nothing except for money and power. And that's the fucking truth. And I regret and I apologize to America for my vote. I made a critical mistake. But if I was in a cult then, I ain't no more. And you know one more fucking thing? I work with Mexicans now. I started a new job in January. I work with about 4 or 5 Mexicans. Not near one of them a fucking rapist or a goddamn drug dealer. Another fucking lie. Haitians too ain't no goddamn dogs and cats in fucking Ohio. It's all fucking bullshit to scare people into fucking votes. That man ain't never spoke the truth, and I should have seen through it. But them Mexicans that I work with, they're just good fucking people looking for a better fucking life. And they work harder than anybody in our goddamn company. Excuse me. They work harder than anybody in our company. And you know what one of them said to me the other day? I wish I had your skin color, because then America would love me. And I thought, shit, he's probably fucking right.